What's your cover? Pew, 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 pew. Get those rebels. Oh. Sorry, friends. Just getting caught up in a moment. But now let's get back to this moment. For our review of Wings of the Master. Okay, yeah, that was pretty stupid. I'll admit that, but I gotta keep these things somewhat entertaining, right? Okay, so pretty much the episode starts out with the 3 A-Wings, the Ghost, and one of the blockade runners going to a system where they have a run-in with Agent Callus, as it was a space battle. They were trying to give food rations to some starving people that the Empire were working. Kind of similar to the Ryloth arc in Clone Wars. But then, they're kind of, I mean, the blockade runner's destroyed, they lose Phoenix leader, and they retreat. And, I liked how they're going back. It's not just a military operation. They really are going back to helping the needy. And I like how in these episodes we don't see Kanan so against the rebellion. He's kind of for it because that's what he was like. He doesn't want to get involved in war. He wants to help those the Empire are crushing and destroying. And that's what they're kind of doing in this episode. And then they realize that they need a better ship to break that blockade, or else they're not going to get to the people. And Rex tells him about a Mon Calamari friend who's a ship engineer named Corey. How he's working on a great new prototype ship. The only problem is he only discusses his ship in person on this planet Shalagon or something, where it's like impossible to get to. And Kanan volunteers Hera for it because he knows that they have to break that blockade. And so Hera takes the Phantom with Chopper, or with Sabine and Ezra, or Sabine and Zeb down to the planet to meet Shipmaster Quarry, while Ezra and Kanan go to pick up the supplies. I kind of like that part. How Ezra's like, and now I'm co-pilot, and Chopper kind of fights him, but it kind of feels like it's a Anakin Obi-Wan R2 mission. It really does. Jedi Master and Padawan with the droid. That was really cool. I like that. That little touch and reference to old times. But nevertheless, back on the plane, see, I'm looking above because I took notes for this one. So, now they, Zeb, and then once they had a rough landing, they found out the reason why that ship is, or that planet's so impossible to get to is because they were, it drains your energy power or something, and, they just barely make it, and they're kind of half hanging on the edge, and then Zeb gets up and he takes a step and they start to slide over. It's like, it's always Zeb. Back in, what's the episode? Idiot's Array. They were about to make it through the blockade and then something happened with the pig, and it's Zeb who was flung back and turned off the ship, this signature modulator. And that was pretty much, it's always Zeb. But, Corey's quite smart. The Mon Calamari, the engineer, I like how Hera's like, this is not a great place to fly ships or test them, and he says it's a great place because if they fly here, they'll fly anywhere because of how tough the environment is, and that was pretty cool. And then Hera was telling him, she's like, you could have just transmitted the plans to Rex instead of sending us out here, and he goes, why would I just hand over my ship to just any pilot? And she has a little monologue there about her past and public ships, and wow, that was just deep. It's like Rebels got deep, and I loved it. That was beautiful. We finally get to learn a little more about Hera, and that was good. I'm not going to say that whole monologue. If you really want it, it's on StarWars.com. I mean, come on. Don't be that lazy. Who the hell cares? I'm lazy. I admit that. But, then they get the ship, or she tests it. It's the B-Wing, and the firepower it has, it's kind of like a mini Death Star laser thing. How 4 lasers come out, concentrate their fire, and it was awesome. And then, but they found out that they can't, that they can't fly and get to the fleet in time because Kanan contacts them and Hera tells them of her success, but then Kanan says Sato's ordered the next run, and that's not necessarily going well. She finds out that the weapon system drained the hyperdrive, so she can't get back in time to help them. But then Quarry kind of realized, I like how he's got because this B-Wing was red, but yet, in Return of the Jedi, they're white, and, at the end he's like, yeah, it's been one of a few problems I've had to fix, another one. I don't really like this paint job, and that was pretty awesome. But then he reveals how while they were flying and testing it, he had his droid install hyperdrive on the Phantom. So that was cool. But then back to the space battle, Callus was kind of taking them out. They had the reason why the blockade runner was taken out in the first run is because that's what the supplies were on. But now the supplies are on the Ghost. I love Callus's line. Of course it is. Focus all fire on the Ghost. And but then Hera shows up in time. The Phantom and the B-Wing, and Callus is like, oh, please, I'd hardly call that reinforcements. And then she unleashes the power and destroys one of the blockading ships. It was a mini-sized Star Destroyer, and Callus was that look, he's like, impossible. That look was just, he's like, what the fuck? That was awesome. I loved that. And they get the things to the rations to the people, and they head out. And I liked how that one line when they're getting shot at by ties, Kanan goes, Rex, keep those ties off our back. Working on it. That was seeing them work together. It's really, I can't wait to see how they transform into a friendship. We all know what's going to happen. But nevertheless, they at the end, Commander Sato tells Corey how Bail Organa liked the ship and he would like to produce them in secret, and Corey's like, of course, with my supervision. He congratulates Hera, and he tells her she did a good job. And then Sato says, which is why I agree with Kanan's recommendation. And Kanan says, just listen to the commander, and Commander Sato promotes her to Phoenix Leader. Which, I like how Kanan was all like, good job, Captain Hera. And kind of a reference to Siege of Lothal, but I really like that. They're getting more organized now. It's good, and it's also bad. And I'll leave you on that thought. So, until, well, in my time, since I'm just putting this out, until a few more hours, but, until next video,